Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together. I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
And welcome back for the finale. Game 6 of the PSL Holiday Classic on the Prep. Chad Bush and Rob Murphy with you. Rob, we saved the best, the headliner, for last. Grand Blanc coming on to take on Cass Tech, who's coming off a big win, feeling good about themselves, and they finally feel whole again with their team.
Yeah, well, they were able to get their football guys back. In particular, C.J. Sadler is really good. You got Steve Hall. You got Lee Harris, who's really good as well. So looking forward to those guys getting acclimated. And Grand Blanc always has talent. They've coming from up in Grand Blanc. They want to come here to show Detroit we're here, and we're here to get a win.
No doubt. Darice Rice, their head coach. Steve Hall, of course, the head coach at Cass Tech. State champions just 2 years ago, Rob. And look, they feel like a lot of these guys that played on that team are now seniors. and they've got a chance this year to make a run now that they've got their guys back.
Yeah, he has a really good team. They had a tough loss at Renaissance, but then they bounced back against a rivalry king. So he showed, like, resolve, like, guys have to bounce back in order to continue to go. So he's looking forward to this group, and he's excited about them.
Some headline players also for Grand Blanc and some of the guys that they have. I know they're led by a guard and they're led by a forward, but they're really led by their top guy in number 2.
Yeah, he's a versatile guy. He's able to shoot it from the outside and get downhill and get to the rim and create plays for himself and others. So I'm looking forward to see how he handles the pressure of Cass Tech, whether they're in their man-to-man or they're in their 2-2-1 pressure. You have to be prepared for it. If you have good guards, as Grand Blanc does, you always have a chance to handle pressure. That means you can execute on the offensive side of the ball, get good shots in order to put yourself in position to win the basketball game.
Grand Blanc 4-2 on the year. Their best win was against Whitehall. It was a come from behind of the D-Zone Classic on the 20th of December. A tough loss, but a good loss at Howell by 5. This should be a very good team. And, of course, the irony of this is these two teams met in the semifinals the year Cass Tech won it all back in 2022. And it was a Darius Acuff heave that knocked off Grand Blanc. Of course, Mike Thomas was the head coach then. But, I mean, these two teams with a little bit of history that like you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, although this head coach wasn't there now, I'm sure he wants to get some get back. That's a little bit of motivation. And I give them credit from coming down from Grand Blanc to play Cass, who's a state championship program, who's probably the premier program here in Detroit, to come play them on their home floor this early in the season. Give Grand Blanc a lot of credit. I'm looking forward to see how they execute on both ends throughout this basketball game.
You mentioned it earlier, Corey Sadler, dynamic, and his head coach Steve Hall said there's no one like him, and I don't think I'll ever coach anybody like him. C.J. Sadler's been a difference since he's returned on both sides of the basketball at the point guard spot.
It's the toughness with C.J. Sadler. He plays both ends, but he's very strong. He's very confident. He has great attributes as an athlete in particular, so he can beat you inside, outside, and he's has ultra confidence. So I'm looking forward to see how they play today and they mesh together as everybody's ready and everybody's back.
All right, here we go. Game 6 of 6 is underway. Chad Bush and Rob Murphy with you from Cass Tech. It's Cass Tech against Grand Blanc. Grand Blanc from the Saginaw Valley League. Working it around the perimeter. This is Huddleston, their top player, into the high post, and it's ripped away right away by Corey Sadler. On the attack, floater up, and off the mark, ripped off by Cooley. Cooley on the run, ahead, Glasser up, no good from Nate Shabara. No score, a minute gone by. Dump pass, Sadler to the big fella. Shot up, no, but a whistle, and that's line work coming for Aaron Graves, the 6'5", 185-pound senior forward.
Yeah, good drive by Sadler. They were able to get in transition with a defensive stop. Interestingly, Coach Hall started in the 2-3 zone. I hadn't seen much 2-3 zone from Cass as seeing them early on in the year, but that was probably to throw Grand Blanc off. They were able to get a couple turnovers, which put them in transition.
You don't miss a 2-3 zone when you see it, do you?
Oh, man. I will never miss it. It's one of the best defenses ever invented. For me, I was able to perfect it.
Yep.
And it worked well for me and also, for Coach Boeheim as well.
Absolutely. Rob Murphy, former head coach at Eastern Michigan for a decade. Lay-in good from Corey Sadler. And it's the first points of the game, 2-0. Rob Murphy also with a state championship. The head coach for Detroit Crockett. Trouble for Huddleston, and he's forced into a turnover. Stolen away, ripped away by Graves. Out of bounds, back to the Bobcats of Grand Blanc.
Yeah, Coach Hall and his technicians have continued to put pressure on these guys, whether it's man, zone, 2-2-1 back man. On the first or second pass, these guys have trapped, and they have not allowed Grand Blanc to get comfortable in this game thus far.
No, sir. Huddleston for 3. That's short. Rebound knocked out of bounds, off of the tips of Sadler and the technicians. Bobcats keep it, ball out of bounds, baseline right. Up top to Donnie Huddleston. Saw him last year in their game against Orchard Lake St. Mary's in the regionals. And he's been one of their leaders against this 2-3 zone. It stays in a zone. Cracking that zone, kicking it to the corner, 3-ball, short. Sadler on the run, throw ahead to Stevie Hall, and Hall lays it in.
That's great defense to offense in transition. They were able to, rebound off the zone, two-hand rebounds as they did there, get it out to Stevie Hall again, where he pushes to get some early offense.
Hall with multiple Division I high major offers. Right corner kick, 3 in and out. Tough luck roll off for Darian Smith-Gervin, the 6'1 senior. High post Huddleston, right elbow jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, grabbed by Higgins, and a foul on the floor. It's a pesky Bobcat team that's had multiple shots and multiple trips.
Yeah, I'm looking to see how Grand Blanc settles into the zone. They don't look comfortable yet. You have to get the ball inside out. A couple times they got penetration to get good looks. There they almost turned it over, but you have to be patient. You have to hit the elbows, maybe the short corner, get some action going toward the rim, maybe screen the top of the zone as well. But you have to execute against it. You just can't throw the ball all around the perimeter and take shots.
Cross-court pass here, kick back to Huddleston, threw it away. Stevie Hall had it, lost it. And Donnie Huddleston circles back between the rings. Doris Martin, the head coach, going to his bench already at the next whistle. Cass Tech very deep as well, probably deeper than Grand Blanc. 3-ball on the way, Splash City. Isaiah McCree, the 10th grader at 5'9".
And as you see there, Chad, against the zone, they were able to throw it to the high post. That's the sweet spot. You got to get the ball inside, and they were able to pass it back out for 3 and get a wide open look.
Well, it took 3 minutes, but Grand Blanc is on the board with their first bucket, and it's just a 1-point Cass Tech lead. Stevie Hall into the corner. Been offered by Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Washington, and Stevie's fouled going up. And I think this is free throws coming. It is. They'll get number 1, Isaiah McCree, on the foul.
Yeah, I've watched Stevie Hall over the years grow up. He's been around a lot of basketball. Obviously, he's playing for his dad, but he's being a student of the game. You see him every year at the Final Fours with his dad. You see him in the gym working out and being around the high school guys when he was in elementary and in middle school. So he's been able to see a lot of basketball and at every level, which is great. To see his maturation, to see his growth, and to see his abilities all come together. I know he's still young, but he has a chance to be really, really good.
Yeah, just a 10th grader, second on this team in scoring at 16.5 a game. Leader in assist at 5.5 a game. 6-3, Cass Tech on top. It's been a lone field goal and a triple for Grand Blanc from Isaiah McCree. 3-ball right wing, no good. Another second chance. Hall tries to rip it away, but it's busted for the foul. Grand Blanc is coming off a loss to Waterford Mott back on the 21st of December in Waterford. A nice win against Whitehall and a nice win against Granville. Game 6 of the evening. Long 3, topside, Splash City. That's Cassiton Sendry, or Caston Sendry rather, the 5'10 junior guard.
Again, that was a deep 3, but it was inside out. They were able to get the ball to the high post area. The zone collapsed, and they kicked it back out for a great look.
So that's been the offense thus far for Grand Blanc. Cut off is Smith-Gervin. And now Corey Sadler looking to make his mark. Pull up 10-foot floater, blocked. Blocked by Nate. Throw ahead, Max O'Mara has checked in, the freshman. Saw his brother Bryce at Grand Blanc as a 4-year player. And a substitution for Cass Tech as they will sit number 10 Aaron Graves, the 6'5 senior, and bring in number 15 Lee Harris. A double-double machine and a Tuskegee University commit. Tied at 6, 3.5 left. Another tight one, perhaps, on our way to this final game. Corner 3, O'Mara, no. Max with a miss. Big boy rebound from Lee Harris. Sadler dumps it down. Lee Harris with a hammer.
Sadler's so quick. He's able to get in the lane. Doesn't even look like he's trying hard, but he has those quick feet. Super athletic. He's able to get in the lane there for a nice drop off and a great finish.
Had shoulder surgery in the summer, did Harris. And a guy that's just a walking double-double. And one of the 3 returning starters from a year ago. You mentioned that penetration from Sadler, what a difference he's made. The 3 ball, that's what Grand Blanc has made, and now they lead it 9-8. 3 triples, this time from Huddleston, their top scorer.
Yeah, Huddleston didn't hesitate there on the catch and shoot. They continue to get the ball to the high post, and they've been told to kick it out. I think the adjustment for Cass has to be, if they're going to play zone when the ball gets to the high post, is go deny the shooters and allow that center or power forward there to play one-on-one basketball. But these guys don't hesitate. They're catch and shoot guys, and they can make shots, and they're confident, as you see here, to kick out to Huddleston, to knock down with confidence and get back on D.
They've got some length to them as well. This is free throws coming up. Darian Smith-Gervin, one of the seniors, and one of the guys that Steve Hall says, look, these are program guys. These are guys that have been with me for a few years. They may not be starters, but they're important to this team as seniors, and we lean on them. Yeah,
well, these guys have been the premier program, so they've seen a lot of winning. They've been a part of a lot of winning. Championships, city championship, state championship. Yep. So anytime you're in a program when you're winning and you're a senior, that means you pretty much know the ins and outs of the program. You know what it takes to win, and Coach Hall is dependent on you and can put you in the game at any time.
And here he is. This is Gio Cannon with a basketball. High post pass to the short corner. Shot rims out for Nate Shimbara. And now Stevie Hall the other way. Draws the foul, and will get a chance to break the tie with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that was great transition. Anytime you can hit it ahead early, you get a chance to manufacture some points. And here Stevie Diamonds is what I like to call him. Was able to get inside and get fouled and put the ball up on the rim. Didn't get it to go down, but he's a pretty good free throw shooter, so hopefully he'll knock 2 down for his team.
Puts it up and knocks it home. Stevie Hall Jr., just a sophomore. Grand Blanc will go to their bench, and they'll bring in Malachi Evans, the 6'4" senior. Cast by 2. Pressure. Near steal in the backcourt by Jacob Wood, who's checked in, a 10th grader. And got a little slap heavy.
Yeah, we've seen 4 different defenses now, from the 2-3 zone, the run and jump, now 2-2-1, and also a man-to-man. So Grand Blanc, this will keep them on their heels as they throw to a trap area there, and the technicians calls the turnover. Great job by Coach Hall, and changing up his defense is confusing. It can be confusing, Chad, depending on your personnel, but they're doing a good job of showing different looks early.
Yeah, you mentioned it, the fact that Cass Tech plays so many people. I mean, you've got to keep everybody on the same page when you're changing defenses. You need cerebral guys. They got them. Lee Harris rises, fires, and's fouled on the perimeter by the freshman, Max O'Mara, at 6'4".
It's impressive. You know, I know Max O'Mara just committed that foul, but he's been the one down on the other end doing a great job catching that ball in the middle and finding shooters. To have that poise in this environment, being on the road, and as a freshman help deliver for his team is really good to see from a young player.
Yep. Free throw up and good. Lee Harris to Tuskegee commit. That point forward in this offense. Talked about O'Mara for Grand Blanc. This is the guy that does a lot of that for Cass Tech. Smart, dependable, returning starter.
1-2-2.
We'll see how Grand Blanc handles it. Gio Cannon in the backcourt. The junior with the basketball. Stevie Hall smells blood. Couldn't swipe it. There it is. Hall does get the eventual steal and circles back. Cass trying for their largest lead. Not there. Throw ahead, picked off at midcourt. Smith Gervin. Down low, Lee Smith, lay it good. Cass with their largest lead in the final minute of 6.
Great catch and strong finish by Harris there. He's really effective in the paint. Uses his patience, great finisher, athletic strength, really good player.
Good finisher is right. 3-ball, back heel, no good. Gio Cannon to save it, and he did. Sendry 3. Another chance for the Bobcats. Huddleston, 3rd time's a charm. And the Cats are within 3 as they cut the lead at half.
I love how Huddleston does not even hesitate to pull the trigger. A really good shooter from downtown. Top of the key, easiest shot in basketball. Somehow he continues to get that shot and knock it down.
5 threes for Grand Blanc, or 4 threes for Grand Blanc, accounting for their offense. It's been enough to hang around in Detroit early. Stevie Hall at the horn, Splash City! Oh, the lefty with a strong first quarter as the Heave falls short. So, 6-point lead for Cass Tech. Grand Blanc hanging around with that 3-ball. We got a fun one, Murph.
Yeah, great flare screen there to end the quarter. Great draw up, great catch, great shot. Incredible first quarter.
Back with more from Detroit Cass Tech right after this.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Well, the Technicians, state champions in 2023. Tyson Acuff, one of their notable alums, one of many. Guy that played at Eastern Michigan. He's right now with Rutgers, where he's playing along a couple of top 5 potential picks in Harper and Bailu. But yeah, this is a guy that, this is a school that's been a blue blood of basketball, and they've rose to prominence as of late under Steve Hall.
Yeah, they've always been good, and you know, Coach Hall has done a really good job of putting them on the map, winning their first state championship, as you mentioned, 2 years ago. But just the consistency of winning, being the premier program in Detroit. You know, he mentioned to us how, you know, he beat Renaissance 7 games in a row. He was on a 7-game win streak against King. To have a stranglehold on those type of programs is truly impressive, because it's hard to do. But he's done a really good job of teaching and coaching, and he has a great staff too. Rich LeGrier, Edmund Pitts over there, and his longtime mentor is also on the bench with him as well. So anytime you have a great staff that you've put together year in and year out with consistency in recruiting and getting some really good players, you have success. So he's done a remarkable job. And we've had our battles too, Chad, going back to Crockett and Detroit Rogers.
Sure.
You know, building those programs. He won a state championship there, as I did at Crockett. So he went on to the college level, obviously got great experience and came back to this level. And it's hard to beat that. Experience is always your best teacher. And he's done a phenomenal job with this CAS program.
That's right. He's at Youngstown State. He's an assistant. 7.5 left, 8-point lead. Grand Blanc, 4 3-pointers has been their offense. They're trying to find something in between. O'Maro back to Gio Cannon. Pass tip, stolen away. Throw ahead. Stevie Hall on the run to the rack. Left hand too strong. Lee Harris stick back too short. And somehow the Bobcats dodge a bullet. Cannon kick, corner three. No sir. Brought it down, tie up, jump ball, and it will stay this way.
Yeah, I love the corner shot there for three. I mean, these guys really do a great job of pushing it, getting early looks. More times than not, they've knocked that down. Being down 8, I'm sure they would like to see that one go. But they don't want to let this game get too far away from them here in the second quarter. CAS being at home, they'll get comfortable, and with their pressure, they'll turn you over.
Huddleston from downtown has been comfortable, but not there. Bobcats down 8. CAS Tech on the run. Steve Hall says, let's set this thing up. Steve Hall was in your seat 2 games ago calling the girls' game.
How did he do, Chad? Was he pretty good, or should he stick to coaching?
No.
Tell me the truth. If not, I'm going to tell him.
I think he's got a shot.
He got a shot?
I think he did a good job.
All right, good for Steve.
Yeah.
Good for Steve. He knows the game. He understands it.
Sure.
Communicates well. And here, Steve Hall Jr., as we sit here and watch, he drives there and is able to get to the line to build on this 8-point lead.
Stevie Hall's had a big first half for CAS Tech. He's their leading scorer. And 9 points. Corey Sadler just 2 points, 2 assists in this game. He does have 2 fouls, Rob, but I mean, they haven't even needed anything yet from Sadler, really. And CAS Tech already +8, about to be 9.
Yeah, and watching the game, Sadler came out. He was kind of playing cool. He hasn't been his aggressive self. I've seen him really play hard and get after it. I mean, obviously, being a football player, you have to have a certain mentality. And when you are as good an athlete as he is, he really can dominate the game with or without the ball. But he started out slow here, but fortunately, CAS Tech is up 9, and they haven't needed him to do much.
Yep. Save that energy if you can. Top side around the horn they go. 9-point lead, the largest of the game for CAS Tech. Trying to close out the final 6 minutes. Cutter, Edelston, shot, short. On the deck and out of bounds, back to CAS Tech, who has really just closed up that paint. Nowhere to go.
You know, I thought they did a really good job of moving there. The freshman, Max O'Mara, again, you know, hit the cutter, which he has a high basketball IQ again for his class and his age. He's doing a really, really good job in this environment, and he's been almost a point forward. When he touches the ball, more like times than not, Grand Blanc gets a good look.
We'll see if CAS can get a good look here. Lee Harris. And we've got an offensive foul, illegal screen. And that's going to go on Brian Stovall, the 6'3", 225 rock, who came to CAS wanting to focus on basketball. He leaves CAS, he will, with a football scholarship and less focus on basketball.
Well, that's what happens as you continue to play 2 sports. As a two-sport athlete as I was, I can understand you kind of, your junior year, you make that decision and you figure out where you're going to make your best impact and what's going to get you that college scholarship. And for him, I'm sure he probably loves the game of basketball and got so good in football, and with their success and winning state championships and being a part of the winning culture in football, it worked out for him as well.
Yep. Marvin Rushing brought him in, and he is a brick, you know what. State title as a freshman. He's a Power 5 football guy. Strong as an ox. 3-ball, no miss over the back. And Grant Blanc finding it really difficult to score on this gangrene defense. As you get a look at Stovall coming back the other way.
Yeah, these guys, Cass, are obviously mixing them up. But even when they go man-to-man and they have a chance to drive, they're doing a great job of cutting guys off and forcing them to shoot threes. You're going to have to knock down a lot of threes to be successful against this team today.
His name is Rob Murphy. My name is Chad Bush. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. We're going to keep it right here. This is Game 6 of the Holiday Classic, the PSL Holiday Classic. And we're glad you've joined us. If you missed the action earlier, Pershing got a win over Centerline. Detroit Central knocked off UPAD. Flint Hamady came down and knocked off Henry Ford. The Cass Tech girls knocked off Romulus. And in the last game we saw, it was Detroit King coming from behind late to knock off Saginaw United. And then here we are, Game 6. Cass Tech trying to put the bow on the show with a win at home against Grand Blanc. They're up 9 right now, Rob Murphy. They've led as many as 10 in this game, but you get the feeling Grand Blanc has yet to really hit their stride and feel comfortable in this game. Anything inside of that three-point line.
Yeah, they haven't been comfortable at all, Chad, and it's because of the switching of defenses. Obviously, Coach Hall wants to put pressure on them, but he also wants to make them think as well. By showing them a mix of different defenses, it may confuse them. So now Grand Blanc now is jumping to their 2-2-1 with hopes that Cass will take a quick shot and maybe it can put them in transition.
Offensive rebound, Stovall after the miss by Donovan Edens. Edens, another senior that Steve Hall raves about. Fader shot, no, but a foul on the body. And that's going to send Jacob Wood line left to shoot 2.
Man, that second chance opportunity there off the offensive rebound. That's a drive and a foul. But prior to that, Stovall was able to go up with his strength, create that second chance opportunity. It's such a luxury to be able to have football players that play basketball as their secondary sport, and they want to play. I had the luxury of having, you know, a few of those guys like Rob Richardson, Garrett Yearby. When I was coaching at Crockett, as soon as the football season was over, those guys were extremely important to our team because you needed the toughness, you needed the defense, you needed the rebounding. So now looking at Steve's team from 2 weeks ago at Renaissance, he's had an addition of these football players, and they're making a huge impact. Just to get that second chance opportunity is huge, and they'll pay huge dividends for them as they move forward.
Yeah, those football guys are built a little different.
Yeah. He just went where nobody could go. And then it's the intimidation at the high school level of the strength.
Yeah.
So now he's playing against sophomores and juniors, and they looking at him like, wow, I don't want to battle with this guy. So it's a little intimidation there as well.
Sure.
That enters into the brain.
Yep. Clear through pressure, and that's a turnover. So maybe Grand Blanc found something and said, hey, we might do our own little press here and see how you feel about that.
They did a really good job of switching it up there. I guess their biggest issue has been the execution on the offensive side of the ball, not getting many clean looks. A couple looks that they could have knocked down, they missed on. But they'll get more opportunity. It's a lot of basketball left, but they have to execute, especially on the offensive side of the floor.
Starting to slip away here. It's an 11-point bump for Cass Tech. Left block pass down low. Nate Shimbara fouled going up. The first hint of a sign of an inside game.
Yeah, they did a really good job there catching the ball and getting it up as quickly as he could. He was able to draw the foul. Hopefully you get 2 free throws here, get some momentum as the second half is almost at close. But you have to manufacture some points. If you don't, it's going to continue to be a struggle. If you can get the ball to go through the basket and you gain more confidence, your team gain more confidence, and then you'll continue to get stops and you can get back in the game. But you have to find a way to get that ball in the basket, Chad.
Yeah. And they can't do it from the free throw line. Big boy rebound by Donovan Edens. Resets topside Sadler. Corey on the drive. Mid-post jumper short. Brian Stovall fighting like a football player. Couldn't come up with it. throw ahead. Donnie for 3, count it. His 3rd of the ball game, cuts it to 8. And he's been the story so far, Murph.
Yeah, that was a great push, catch and shoot. If he can get more open looks like that, and most of the time you can get him in transition. That was a quick push, slightly contested shot, but he's such a good shooter, he was able to get it to go down.
Stevie Hall had it swiped, 3-on-1. Throw ahead, lay in, good. 5-0 Grand Blanc run. It's back to a 6-point game.
Emmanuel Cooley is a freshman. He was able to get a deflection there and then get a hit ahead and score. Looks like a solid player himself as well. To be a freshman out here competing is impressive.
You bet. Answer back, triple, Splash City. That's Stevie Hall. Stevie's on tilt tonight. 13 points for Hall to lead the building. And there's still almost 3 left in the first half. Double team pressure, foul. He'll get Edens with it. That'll be his first, and that will be Cass's 3rd team foul.
If you're competing against Cass Tech, you have to be prepared for the pressure. Their pressure has been super effective today. What Grand Blanc has to do is make sure they flash somebody to the middle. O'Mara had been in there, you know, all throughout the game when he was in there, but you have to have a flasher, because when they come to trap this first pass, you have to have an outlet to get it to.
Well, this flasher throws it away. Nate couldn't handle it well. Picked off by Graves, another football guy. Dumped down low. Lee Harris laying no. Might have been blocked. Donnie Huddleston comes away with it. The throw ahead. Down low. Nate back out. Cutter, baseline, and bumped out. And we've got a timeout with this player under the baseline. Odd timing for it, but it might have been the right savior call by the head coach.
Yeah, that was a great call. I don't know how he's seen that from a distance, but great call and a better officiating for them to hear him.
Back with more from Detroit and the Holiday Classic from the PSL right after this.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Chad and Rob back with you. R.J. Taylor, a notable alum you might recall. And he was a part of that state championship team in 2021. He's at Northern Iowa and doing great things. Ty Rogers, also an alum, playing at Illinois. But Grand Blanc's been a great program. Mike Thomas, that really got things rolling there. Huddleston for 3. Mike doing things now at East Kentwood. Will be in his tournament, the Gotta Get It Classic, in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that. But Mike brought the magic to Grand Blanc and brought the title home to that great community. Shot up good and the foul. Oh, you bad man. That is Lee Harris, the senior and the Tuskegee commit. How about this?
Yeah, it was a great job of coming out of timeout, execution by the technicians. They emphasized in that timeout to get the ball to Lee. He came across on the opposite side block, caught the ball, patience in the paint, was able to finish with the and one to put Cass up by 11 points.
Harris, the senior returning starter, now in double digits to go with 5 points. Give him 11 and bump that lead back up to a dozen, Rob Murphy. And Cass looking for more, and Doris Martin is looking for mercy.
Yeah, well, Coach Martin now wants to close out this last 39 if he can. He doesn't want this game to get away from him. That was a really good timeout. sometimes you have to burn them just to stay in the game, especially early, to overcome some adversity here. With 139, he wants to make sure he get in position where he can score, get a stop, maybe score again to get this to single digits going in the half.
We talked about the state championship in 2021, but how about the semifinalist run in 2023? That was where Acuff knocked out Grand Blanc with that miracle three-point shot to take Cass to the finals. And they were runners-up in 22. So it's been a winning program, large school out of the Saginaw Valley, 4-2, and their best win coming against Whitehall just a week and a half ago. Here we go. 69 seconds left in this first half. Clear ahead. And pulled back out. Rip drive, floater, blocked. Lee Harris got him. On the run, Smith-Gervin, floater up, no good. And the rebound pulled off by Jaden Higgins. Free throw line jumper, no good, and 1 and out for Grand Blanc.
Yeah, it's been tough for them to get some to go down, Chad. They've had their shots and opportunities. I think this pressure has bothered them, especially the younger players. But they continue to fight on the defensive side of the ball. And as what I can see as well, that Cass has the size advantage. They have the athletic advantage. So they've wore these, the Grand Blanc team down thus far, but they have to find a way to get their space and their pace and execute on the offensive side of the ball. That's where most of their struggles have come from tonight.
Credit Cass Tech. I mean, defensively, they just have not allowed any second chance points at all.
Yeah, they've been good in mixing up their defenses as well. Sometimes when you play 3 or 4 different defenses, it's hard to execute it. But these guys have all been on the same page and in their rotations and done a really good job of executing on that side of the floor.
Yes, they have. So, ball out of bounds, a reset. Final minute, 12-point lead for Cass Tech. It's been a late run. And Lee Harris a big part of it. But Stevie Hall's first quarter was dynamic. 13 points. Grand Blanc playing catch, around pressure, double team, trap. Just escapes it. And you just get the feeling nobody wants the ball for Grand Blanc right now against this defense.
Yeah, you have to have a flasher. You have to have a flasher in there to pass is pressuring. And to close out the half, they've done a really good job. I'm sure Coach Hall, not being in foul trouble, wants to keep the pressure on. Could gamble, maybe get a steal, and have a chance to go down and score again. But with pressure, I've always told players over the years, when you feel like you're being pressured and when you're in doubt, just go to the basket. Something good in most cases will happen. That was the first time they didn't try to stand out and fight. He put his head down and went to the rim. He was able to get to the line.
Gets rewarded. First free throw goes down, 1 more to come. It stops a run by Cass Tech, an 8-0 run. Substitutions, both teams, and a rest for Jacob Wood and Darian Smith-Gervin. 1 more for the lefty, Isaiah McCree, the 10th grader. Got them both. 10-point game. Now Cass Tech against this 2-2-1. And Jalen Howell, who's checked in. High hands, knocked away, stolen away. 15 seconds left. Throw ahead, Cam Hairston, lay in good. Basket by Nate Shimbara with 7 seconds to go. 8-point game. Lee Harris fouled at the mid-strike.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Stevie Hall Jr. went so quick on that last possession. You know, being up 10, you probably want to take the last shot. I'm sure in his mind he's open and he's played a great game thus far. But you almost want to make sure you can go in up double digits, maybe 12 to 14, taking the last shot. So he just has to learn that. Young player made a mistake. and it gave Grand Blanc also a chance to get some points before the half as well.
Yeah. And now Lee Harris gets a chance back the other way to try to answer him and get this back up to a 10-point lead.
Lee Harris has been unbelievable, by the way. He's made a huge impact offensively and defensively. He's been Mr. Consistent tonight. I've enjoyed watching him, play tonight and how he's executed and been kind of the rock for their team. Stevie Hall Jr. has been great, but Lee Harris has been even better.
Yep. Half-court heave off the mark. 10-point lead at the break for Cass Tech. A game that was tied at 9. Cass Tech grows it with that pressure defense. Rob and I will break it down, all the stats and scores, when we come back to Cass Tech for the PSL Holiday Classic.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together. I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
Welcome back to Cass Tech High School. It's the PSL Holiday Classic. Glad you're with us. A very special guest, the president of the Board of Education of DPCSD, Angelique Peterson Mayberry. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays.
Happy
How's it
holidays
been?
to you. It's been amazing.
You made it through, and now you get a day of basketball.
Absolutely. I came out earlier today, so I was able to see a couple of the games earlier today, and always really proud of our young people as they come and show some of the talent.
Yeah, and this just shows a small segment of the talent of DPSCD.
Correct.
I mean, there's talent in the classrooms, there's talent on the court, and some feel-good stories this year. You've had several. Go ahead and brag about some of the academic successes you've had so far this year.
Yeah, so, you know, in addition to having a really good contract with our teachers, a multi-year contract, and that's something that has not been done in a very long time, but just making sure that we have the wages that our teachers deserve. We don't have enough, obviously, but being able to have them in the classroom, you know, we're dealing with absenteeism, dealing with enrollment. So we're really excited about what DPSCD is doing. We've outpaced the state in some of our testing. And so we want people to know when you look at athletics, and you think about athletics, these are student athletes and not athletic students. So that's a difference.
It is a difference. Elaborate on that, the student athlete and how everything just kind of comes together and how it's enhanced the lives of these young men and women as they participate in athletics.
They do. They participate in athletics, but we want them to know that that's not all that they are.
Sure.
Right? So athletes aren't all that they are. And so what does that look like for the whole student? And so in communities, in classrooms, we want GPAs for teams. You know, our superintendent over athletics has done an amazing job with coaches being able to brag about, here's our average GPA on our team. And so all of that matters when it comes to our student athletes.
And some of the successes also that we've seen throughout the district, growth in so many areas, new schools being put up, institutions that folks can really be proud of and build around. There's been a lot of success and strides in that area too.
Absolutely. So with our facilities master plan, there were $700 million that we were able to allocate for 5 new school buildings, and also putting wings on some of our schools, making sure that we have, you know, air conditioned HVAC in a lot of our schools. And so people will probably say, well, that's no big deal, right? But anytime we have to close a school because of those type of reasons, then those are things that we need to do. And, you know, we don't get tax dollars for operating the district, and so we had to do that. Unfortunately, that was one of the blessings with COVID dollars, because we were able to do some of those things. So we did a lot of groundbreaking in some of our facilities where we're actually getting ready to put shovels in the ground as it relates to our new schools.
It's awesome. Some of the successes on the court, on the field, we've seen it right here at Cass Tech, the state championship in basketball a couple years ago, the state championship in football just about a month ago.
Yes.
I mean, there's some real huge wins that we're seeing statewide that are making big waves. How has that impacted DPSCD?
I think, you know, it makes the school itself more marketable, and as a district as a whole, it makes it more marketable because it's not just for students who live in the city of Detroit. And so if we go through and we talk to those students who live outside of the city of Detroit and we ask them, you know, what is it that brings you to the city, you will hear some of those things. You know, Cass Tech is an amazing facility. They have amazing leadership and all of their staff, but they have the support. They have the support, and that's what all of our students and all of our buildings deserve, the support that we have here at Cass Tech. So really excited about that, and being able to host the Holiday Classic. I look forward to it every year. Every year I look forward to it, and I come out, you know, and I just root these young people on, because they need to see that they have people who are cheering for them in the classroom and in the stands or the field.
What's something that fans of the PSL in general, in both the academia and in the athletic world, can look forward to in the winter and spring in 2025?
I think, you know, we were at Wayne State a couple of weeks ago when we have the biggest rivalry, right? Martin Luther King versus Cass Tech. And so I was really proud of the fact that we were able to take that game away from the local school, because we just don't have the capacity for all of the fans who want to come out. And so I think what people can understand is that on graduation day, you will hear billions of dollars that are being raised by these young people as they go to these go to colleges. Some of them will continue to play athletics, but for some of them, it's just the next stepping stone in their chapter. So we're really excited that we have been able to help shape and mold them for that next step.
Angelique Patterson Mayberry, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us, and thanks for being here. I know there are some people who've been texting me. They can watch the game because they're not here, so that's really exciting. So thank you so much. Shout out to Jay Alexander and his entire team for making sure that we can watch the game away from here.
Angelique Peterson Mayberry, one of the best in the business, president of the Board of Education, DPSCD. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, we appreciate it. Back with more on the Prep Holiday Classic from the PSL right after this.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Back to the action. Second half, Chad Bush and Rob Murphy with you. Corey Sadler, just 4 points in that first half. But again, you know that's coming. Corey still shaking off some of the rust. A turnover there. Big part of this half, you'd think, right now for Grand Blanc. Team that's trailing double digits on the road. This is not a Cass Tech team, Rob Murphy, you want to get down to in their own building.
Yeah, I would like to, see or hear what, Coach had to say. I'm sure it was about executing on offense, taking care of the ball. They had a countless number of turnovers in the first half. They did have some open shots. So with patience there, getting the ball into the middle of the zone, they had a great shot. They just have to knock it down. And on the flip side, I know Coach Hall went in there and said, we're going to keep the pressure on them, and we're going to, more importantly, protect our home floor and hopefully get out of here with a victory.
Well, we'll see if they can do it. A 10-point bump to work with to start it. No points out of the gate. Minute gone by. Grand Blanc try to keep it rolling. A loss to Waterford Mott, still not tasting just right in their mouths. And a tough date against Detroit Central coming up on the 4th of January.
Really good job getting into the teeth of the zone there. He was able to catch and drive and get fouled. I think that has to be the consistent message if, the technicians are in the zone. Get it inside, whether at those elbows, that short corner area. Either kick out for three or, get something going to the basket.
That's 3 fouls now on Corey Sadler Jr. So something to keep an eye on there. What are we seeing out of Cass Tech defensively to start?
They started a 2-3 zone, 3-2 zone actually right now with Stevie Hall at the top using that length to distract everyone's vision. Bump back there from Hall. Really good drive by the freshman. They were able to get a second chance opportunity here, but with these second chance opportunities, you have to be able to deliver.
And they do not there. An errant pass to the middle of the paint. Flips it over. Cass Tech back on offense. Final half of the 6th game today. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you here on the Prep, the PSL Holiday Classic. Corner 3, no good. Throw ahead, looking for McCree, and he can't finish it. Scrappy hands, he'll get it back, and he says, I'm going to finish it one way or another. Short corner right, rebound no good. Blew the bunny. That's Nate Shabara. To make it burn the other way, 3 no good.
Yeah, they've had a couple opportunities, Chad. They can't get anything to go down. If you want to put yourself in position to win, you have to cut into this lead here in the third quarter to get to the fourth. With hopefully it's a single-digit lead and you're in striking distance. But you have to make your layups. You have to make your free throws. Here they have an open opportunity after the drive by the freshman to get to the line.
Free throws coming for the 9th grader Emmanuel Cooley at 5'11" to try to get the first points of the second half for either team. So a bit of a youth movement with Cooley and O'Mara both getting prime minutes, the top 6 in the rotation.
Yeah, and these guys getting this opportunity is huge because they'll only get better. Graham Blanc, over 20 years, has been consistently good no matter who's been the coach there. I think they do a really good job academically at that at the school. They're able to get kids in that area, and they run a good program. So these freshmen here to get this time early is great for their maturation as the season moves on, so they can continue to get better, and the team as a whole will continue to get better.
That's right. Cooley knocks them both down. It's an 8-point game. Elbow jumper, good. Lee Harris, your guy, has been something.
He's been Mr. Consistent today. He's able to knock down that elbow jumper, but just like that, Graham Blanc confidently pushes it up and is able to get a basket to go down.
Nate Jambara gets it on a nice feed from Cooley, the freshman. Paint jumper up and good. Corey Sadler seems to be there when you need him the most.
Yeah, Corey has been, you know, in cool mode today, Chad. I've seen him super aggressive. For whatever reason, he's taking it easy. I don't know if it's a slight injury but he's done not been moving around and not as quickly as I would like to see him or have I've seen him in the past.
Yeah. Huddleston corner, long with it, and on the deck it'll stay the way of the Bobcats. Yeah, you know, Corey, it seemed like he shook all that rust off. You saw him against King in the game last week. Different energy level.
Yeah, different energy level. Even when I was at the Renaissance game, and you know, that was a pretty bad loss for Cass when they didn't have all their guys in place. But he was super aggressive, using his athleticism, and he was competing at a high level. And I'm sure he'll get going here. Well, it's like that rebound there and a great outlet pass. But he's effective. Although he's playing pretty cool today, he's still making an impact on the game, and he has the ability, because of his athletic ability and his quickness, to impact it.
Just a dynamic player and young man. Still just a junior. And he helps give Cass a 12-point lead, matching their largest. Danger zone here for Grand Blanc. It's been the freshman making plays. Huddleston, the senior, dead spot left, Splash City. He says, nobody can stop me. It's my 5th 3 of the game. Give him 15 points, and it's back to a 9-point bump.
Yeah, that was a great shot fake. Step to the side, nice shot. Huddleston has a nice trigger, Chad. He looks like he's a Division I player. Haven't watched him much, but he has a Division I shot. I think he'll have a shot to play at the next level and be effective. In today's game, you got to be able to shoot, and he can definitely do that.
Yes, sir. Trayvon Parham into the game. Left elbow, Lee Harris, no. Reset to Stevie Hall. Sadler against the freshman, licking his chops. Steve Hall has other ideas. Kick back, 3 ball. Parham, no. Chases it down and saves it. Bobcats on the run. Huddleston all alone, time and space, and a tough rollout, no good. Sadler on the move. Corey down the paint. Hot knife through butter, can't finish. Back and forth we go. Pull up, jump shot, no good. Both teams trade misses. That was Sendry.
Yeah, well, Sendry pushed it up that time. It looked like he was a little bit indecisive on what he wanted to do. But here, when you're trying to manufacture points, you got to take good shots. You got to make the shots as well.
Harris with a miss, scramble on that miss, and Jaden Higgins couldn't save it. Cass Tech will keep it across the way. This is number 10, Aaron Graves into the game.
a 3.9 GPA. Smart kid, a guy who in the summer would go from football practice to summer league basketball. Very hard worker, very mature young man, and has really grown his role on this team. The 6'5" wide receiver in football for Marvin Rushing. And here, another football guy. And he's starting to help out here in basketball this year.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have those guys, Chad. Big bodies, strong guys, tough guys.
There he is. Attacks. Missed it. Rebound pulled off by Nate Chimbara. And here comes Grand Blanc down 9. Feeling like they can get back in it. The freshman on the deck. Around the body, and he scores. That's Emmanuel Cooley. Way too cool of a move.
Yeah, Cooley is good. He was able to drive left there, hop back above that block, and able to get it up on the glass to score. Really talented freshman. Good build to his body. He has length. Has a bright future.
No doubt. Little 3-man weave at the top. Sadler with his team up just a touchdown. Short shot, no good. Pulled off by Nate S. Geo Cannon the other way. Little 2-3 zone now. You mentioned the mix-up of the zones and the defenses all night by Steve Hall. Right wing 3 in front of his own bench, no good. Over the back, the freshman stole it. And the frustrated Trayvon Parham had to foul him. My goodness, Emmanuel Cooley taking over Rob Murphy.
Yep, 7-point game here. You'll see the shot go up. Cooley come on the backside, go up and use his length to tap the ball to himself with a 2, and then end up getting a rebound out of it. But right now, you need that second chance opportunity. It's a 7-point game. You're trying to close out the third quarter. You're in striking distance. I see a lot of fight in this team, which is great.
We'll take a timeout. 90 seconds left. Game within 7. Grand Blanc trying to make a move. Steve Hall and the home team trying to shut it down. Come on back, won't you? We're the Prep.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
That's Steve Hall, state champion head coach. Brought it back to his alma mater. Steve, an 88 grad at Cass Tech. Averaged 30.7 points as a senior. No big deal. Spent time at the University of Washington, also at Virginia Tech. And coached his team to the 2023 state championship title. He also coached Detroit Rogers, as Rob Murphy told you earlier, to state titles in 03, 04, 05. And he coached at Northwestern, Youngstown State, and other places. I know you've got a ton of respect and regard for Steve Hall.
Yeah, he's won at every stop. He's had success at every level. I give Steve a lot of credit. He's a really good recruiter. He's a good teacher. He's a good coach. He understands how to win. And he was a great player as well.
Yeah.
Big guard at his size. Even when he played here at Cass Tech, he was, you know, one of the premier guys in this city that everyone would talk about. But as we're talking about Coach Hall, Grand Blanc is on a run here, and they've cut it to 6, Chad. No, I'm sorry. 5. They've cut it to 5, and now just was able to get another turnover.
A 7-0 run to the rack. Geo Cannon too strong. And with 40 seconds left, Lee Harris on the hunt. And that is an offensive, no, it's not. I apologize. That is a block. And that'll send Lee Harris line right. Are they saying he went up? Yes, he did. 2 shots coming, Lee Harris on the attack.
Yep, here he is in transition. Grand Blanc tries to take the charge. They don't get set, but I give Lee a lot of credit. He's been attacking the rim all day. He's been super effective. He's been one of the positive outlets here for the technicians today.
Harris in this ball game, 15 points to tie for the team high with Stevie Hall, and a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Make it 8 of 8. Back to a 6-point bump. Here's the Cass Tech cheerleaders. They're in the house. They're fired up, making some noise, keeping the vibes a-going on this Friday night in the Motor City. You sticking around? Anything going on tonight? Any good things happening?
No, I'm going to go home and watch me a couple episodes of the Squid Game, Chad.
Of the Squid Game?
Yes, it came out. It came out yesterday.
I saw that. Are you into the Squid Game?
I am. It was the season 1 was incredible.
All right, I'm gonna have to dig in.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see what they came up for season 2. That's going to be hard to top.
All right, man. I'm gonna try to talk my wife into watching that. Dead spot left, Splash City. How about it? The freshman growing up. He's 15. That's Cooley. With a Splash City, it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, Cooley's play has energized Grand Blanc here. Huddleston, early and midway through, but it's been Cooley closing out this third quarter, putting his team in position to be effective in the fourth and keeping it close enough to win the game.
You're not kidding. 4-point game, 10 seconds left. Across the timeline they go with Sendry. Now 5 seconds to go. Sendry high on the right, working it against Wood. Puts it up at the horn. It's short. But we've got a game, a 4-point game as we head to the fourth for the final quarter of the PSL Holiday Classic. Chad Bush and Rob Murphy back to Detroit in a moment.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
We are the Prep primetime matchup, 6 of them today. Glad to be with you. Chad Bush and Rob Murphy, high atop Cass Tech High School. Follow us on our social medias if you would. TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you'd like to sponsor a team, a broadcast, get at us. info@theprepsports.com. Or if you want to be a part of our internship team, info@thesports.com. If you want to broadcast, you know how to find us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, following, sharing. We got a post today earlier, that dunk from Acuff. How many views on that Acuff dunk? 70,000 views so far. And so we've had some good fun here today. And thanks for being a part of it, Rob Murphy. To my left on color commentary, former state champion head coach at Detroit Crockett, former Division I basketball coach at Eastern Michigan, former Division I assistant coach at Syracuse under Jim Arthur Boeheim, and Kent State as well. I know I missed some stops along the way, but you get the point. I'm with a good basketball mind and a good basketball man to my left, and Rob Murphy.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. Thanks for announcing that, but I wouldn't be here without you. I mean, you're a Hall of Fame announcer, and it hasn't been announced yet. I appreciate you having me by your side. I've learned a lot from you as I take on this new challenge of a color analyst. I couldn't be beside a better guy. We worked together back at Eastern. I learned a lot just being interviewed, and now since you've given me this great opportunity, it's helped me here, and it's helped me continue as Huddleston continues Grand Blanc's great run as they start the fourth quarter here and cut it to 1.
6 triples for Huddleston. I appreciate that. Thank you. 1-point game. Hall to the hole and a nice dump off for his football buddy, Brian Stovall, who gets it back to a 3-point bump. First points for Stovall.
Yeah, it was good to see Steve Hall not, settle for a jump shot there, attack the rim. They were able to get it over the top. He went to the rim, recognized the defense was coming over. Great drop for the finish, and it put Cass up at up 3.
Sendry from way back. Harris with a chin-up rebound. Sadler with a catch and a stare. He says, you know who I am? I catch passes for a living. Sadler clears it out. Sloppy pass near steal, and now it is loose on the deck. Up for grabs, Stevie Hall, Gio Cannon, 3-on-1, and blocked by Brian Stovall. Check that, Donovan Edens. It was blocked by, ball out of bounds, helter-skelter all over Murph.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 ball. The first guy to the floor usually gets it. CJ, stunned that he would reach for the ball there, aggressive as he is as a football player. He let the Grand Blanc player out hustle him. They were able to save the layup there, but these possessions are very important as they close out the game here. And here's Cooley for three. Didn't get a chance, wasn't able to get it to go down.
Had the open look, couldn't finish. Cooley gets the rebound though. Chance to tie it with a triple with 6 minutes left. Gio Cannon for the tie. No, sir.
Now look at Grand Blanc's team. Huddleston and Cooley has been the guys who've kept them in it. If I'm Grand Blanc, I'm looking for those two guys as we close out their game. Sometimes it's just not your day and you got to go with the hot hand. And Grand Blanc is not looking for their two guys that have been consistent throughout the game and more importantly, got them back into this game, into this position.
As a coach and you're on the sidelines, how bad do you want to call those guys over and say, look, get it to these guys? I mean, how often do you have to really just control that part of the game when they're not getting it into their hands?
Yeah, well, you got to hope that they understand that. It's about understanding as the point guard or having a high basketball IQ or who's the hot hand or who we've been riding all day. And those two guys in particular have been consistent. In particular, Cooley bringing them back there in the third and Huddleston all game has been really good from deep. So if those two guys can collect most of the shots here as it's closeout time here in the fourth quarter, it'll put Grand Blanc in position to win the game.
How about free throws? 10 for 10 now for Lee Harris. That'll win you some games, Rob.
Yeah, Lee Harris has been phenomenal today. He's rebounded the ball. He's made his free throws. He's finished inside. He's played really good defense. As it's close here, you know, as we close out this game, he'll be very pivotal how he continues to play as he closes out the game.
All City last year, 11 for 11 from the stripe, 19 points, 10 rebounds, and prime position for G of the game if Cass Tech is to hold on and win this thing. They're up 5 with 5.5 left. Huddleston for three. Back iron miss, no. Skying for the rebound is Smith Gervin. Here comes Stevie Hall, who's been quiet in the second half after the huge first quarter. Sadler rips, drives, hot knife through, Butter can't finish. Lee Harris saves it. Corey gets it back and is fouled underneath going up. I think it's on Huddleston. O'Mara thought it was a jump ball. It will go on number 11. That's Max O'Mara with a foul. That's his third.
It's those second chance opportunities there, Chad. Harris again ended up getting a second chance opportunity, rebounded the ball. He was able to get it to CJ. CJ was able to get fouled. These are two big free throws as they close out here.
Cass has been so good at the free throw line today. 19 to 24. That's really good. Just 6 attempts for Grand Blanc, and Corey got the second to roll home. 6-point game, 5 minutes left. Grand Blanc has come close. They had the lead for a second, but it's really been Cass Tech that's had the lead and had the upper hand in this contest. Lead's been as big as 13, and it was just shrunk down moments ago to 1. Seven straight years as city champions.
Coach Hall has instructed CJ Sadler to guard Huddleston, face guard him. Doesn't want him to touch it. He's probably going to face guard him for this last 5 minutes of the game. Great coaching move, knowing and understanding that he's the guy that is capable to close out that game and give Grand Blanc a chance to win, but he wants to take that away.
3 fouls as well for Corey Sadler's, you know, so that's something you got to work through too. Huddleston to the cutting freshman, and the hot hands work together to get to the line.
Yeah, anytime one of those guys touch it, more times than not, it's a positive play. Really good call, really good throw in from out of bounds right to the post. I couldn't believe they allowed that catch that early. Cass went to sleep on the backside. Cooley recognized it. He cut. Great bounce pass there, and he's able to get to the line for 2.
The freshman misses the first. One more for the freshman as you get a look at Steve Hall, the bench boss. Averaged 31.7 points a game his senior year at Cass Tech. That's tough to do.
Yeah, it is tough to do. No, he can score the basketball. He's a solid passer as well, but he can really put the ball in the hole. He's a big guard before big guards were famous. I mean, back then when you had Magic Johnson and all those guys, it was a rarity, but he was a big guard, you know, way back in the day. Had great ball skills, was able to shoot the basketball, finish around the rim. Was a really great player.
Now his son, Stevie, doing great things for Cass Tech. Cut off mid-post, dumped out Lee Harris with a Harris hammer. And a big bucket, +8 for Cass Tech.
Yeah, missed the consistency there. Put himself in position. I thought the shallow penetration was great. Was able to draw the defense and drop it off. It's nothing like having a big who can catch it with 2 hands and finish with authority.
3 ball, O'Mara, no. Huddleston with a big boy rebound, couldn't grab it. And snatched out of there by Darian Smith-Gervin. Throw ahead, Lee Harris finish, yes! Oh, it's been the night of Lee. Timeout, Doris Martin. We'll take it with him. 3:39 to go. The lead up to 9, Rob Murphy, on a play like this.
Yeah, did a really good job there on shallow penetration, catch and finish with 2 hands, and they were able to get out in transition. Stevie Hall was able to get it ahead and drop it in for 2 to give Cass that lead.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
That's Doris Martin. He's the bench boss in his 2nd year. He loves Martin, and he loves to bowl. And those are 2 great things. He was at Grand Blanc earlier. He paid his dues. Freshman coach, JV coach. And he also coaches Flint's finest AAU program. He's a proud grad of Flint Northern, a 92, went to Northwood, and he's the student liaison in Grand Blanc at Reed Elementary. Chad Bush, Rob Murphy back. 9-point deficit right now for Grand Blanc. What's the number one thing they need to keep in mind as they try to make a return run here?
Well, you have to score as quickly as possible, but with that being said, you got to take good shots. If the open 3 is there, you take it. If not, get to the basket and keep putting the pressure on the officials to make the call. More importantly, you got to get stops. You got to get stops and score in order to have an opportunity here. That's a great penetrating kick. Sindri wasn't able to get it to go down.
Good look, Stevie Hall on the breakout. Layup good. Give him 17 points. And a whistle afterwards, and I think a delay of game warning perhaps. But, hey, look, the boys are having fun right now. It's an 11-point lead with 3:04 to go. Foul and a reach. Want to also send our thoughts out to Steve Hall, who lost his father, who he was very close with back in October. Ferd Lamar Hall. He's a former assistant principal at Cass Tech and a guy that was a big figure in the city of Detroit. And more than that, he was more than a father to Steve. He was also his mother. Steve lost his mother at 10 years old, and a big loss for the Hall family. And was also very close with his grandson, Stevie. So our thoughts are out to Ferd Lamar Hall, who lost his life back in August.
Yeah, he's a great man too, Chad. I had an opportunity to meet him and
Is that right?
build a relationship over the years. It was funny every time I seen him. We had great conversation, and he never looked at me as the rival, or because me and Steve was always in competition, whether it was recruiting, whether it was competing at Crockett and Rogers. But for whatever reason, he took a liking to me. But he was a great man, always great conversation, always gave great advice. So yeah, prayers and out to Steve family, and I know that's a tough loss with me, losing my mom at an early age and never really having a father. So I can't imagine, having that father your entire life and him being there for you and helping you make every decision with you and now your sons. And then he's now gone. But he was a great man. He made a huge impact in so many areas here in Detroit, and I was sorry to hear about his passing.
Yeah, those are nice words, and had the honor of meeting him after Cass Tech won the city title a couple years ago. And gentleman. Layup good. It's Corey Sadler. He also played the role of, kind of mediator between his grandson Stevie and his dad Steve, and that coach-son relationship, and player-coach relationship. And Steve Hall says there's a little bit of a gap there too, and we're getting through it. Cass Tech trying to get through this game. They're up 12. Sadler to the hole. Finger roll, no. Huddleston throw ahead. Leaking out. Evans, no. Freshman stick back, yes. That's Emmanuel Cooley. Remember the name.
Yeah, he's pretty good, Chad. I'm looking forward to his maturation over the next few years. Again, he has great size for the position. Looks like he'll grow, has nice length. Can really shoot it, can put it on the deck, and he's a really good defender. So I think he'll have a really good career and have a chance to play at the next level.
There's that missed stick back by the guy you just mentioned, Cooley. It's a nice length to him. And good-looking player. Hey, look, tomorrow we've got more games ahead, and we want you to join us. 11 o'clock a.m. is when the fun begins. Detroit Osborne against Redford Thurston, followed by East English Village and Dearborn Heights Robichaud. Detroit Southeastern, the Jungleers, will take on the Tractors of Fordson in that Game 3 matchup. And then the girls matchup at 4:15. The Lady Phoenix taking on Flint Carmen Ainsworth. That's going to be a really good battle between these two prized programs. And Detroit Western, the Cowboys against Romulus, the Eagles, a game that you and I will call at 6. And then at 7:45, we'll call Detroit Renaissance against Detroit Country Day. And that'll happen all day long on the Prep. And come on out to Renaissance High School. I know you've been to Renaissance High School. Last couple weeks, some big games.
Yeah, they have a really good basketball team. Lamonte Stone, Lance Stone.
Yeah.
Can shoot it from deep, Chad. Undersized guard, but really quick, can shoot long range, can get in the paint and cause havoc, whether it's shooting floaters or creating offense for his teammates. And they have a host of players, and they're hungry this year. And they think they have a legit chance to win the state championship, so I'm looking forward to watching them again tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, they beat this Cass Tech team by 30. So, I mean, they got it going on.
Yeah, I happened to be at that game and watch it. I think they would have beat anybody in the state that day. They were on fire, clicking on all cylinders. Coach White was coaching them up, teaching them, motivating them. And I think because of the stranglehold that Cass has had them on them for so long, that win, was very important and went a long way. And it showed them that they've overcome that hurdle of beating them. Now they have a chance to win the city and make a run for a state title.
Yeah, it means a lot more when you see it happen and you break that long stretch of being shut out. 7 years, is that what you said?
7 years. That's
hard to believe.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, and it's a long time, but it's that's how good of a job. And I'm sure it's been some close losses in there, but anytime you don't beat a program in 7 years, it's a lot of doubt. So to be able to overcome that, as good as the stranglehold was, I give Renaissance a lot of credit for continuing to believe and move their program forward.
Yeah. 3 of the best guards in the state you'll see playing together. Dynamic. Malachi Jackson, Jordan Sigmund, and Lance Stone. I had to think about it too. I mean, there's a lot.
There's a lot of stones. Yeah, those guys are pretty good players.
There's a lot. You can pick and choose several there. Rip, drive, shot up, no, but this freshman knows how to score, get to the bucket, and he is not scared. Back to the line goes Emmanuel Cooley.
I like Cooley. I like Huddleston. They'll look back at this game, and I want to say Sindri was someone they were dependent on, but he didn't have a great game today. I can see the talent. Coach believes in him, but he didn't get any shots to go down. I think he's what's missing. Had he played well, the game would have been closer, and they would have had a chance to upset Cass tonight here at home.
Yeah, tough to go on the road in an environment like this against a defense like this and rely on a freshman to kind of lead you in any of the top 2 categories. But this guy looks up for the task as the season grows on.
Yeah, and they'll be better for this. I mean, I'm sure we have 50 seconds left. It's a 10-point lead. It's not over, but mathematically it's going to be tough for them to get back into this game. But they'll learn a lot from this game, especially these young players. They'll have more confidence moving forward, and I think Blanc will put themselves in position to have success because they'll build on this game tonight.
This was a game that was 25-20 at the end of the first half. Blanc would come out. They'd go on a run. They'd take a brief lead. But something turned late in that third quarter, and it started with Lee Harris.
Yeah, he's been the guy. He's been Mr. Consistent. He's played well every quarter. Almost every second he's been on the floor. He's made positive play after positive play. Anytime you're, all-city type player and then you return the following year, you're ultra confident. You believe you're the best player on the floor, especially the best player in the paint. And it shows me with even Coach Hall having him take the ball out. He has a high basketball IQ, especially in game closing time as well. So I'm looking forward to continue to watch his maturation in this Cass team as they continue to get better now that they have all their pieces back in place. I'm sure Coach Hall and Coach LeGrier and Coach Pitts are excited about the opportunity to continue to dominate. I mean, teams have closed the gap, like Renaissance beating them early on. And there's other teams now that are closing the gap. But I look forward to see how they continue to get better and as the season progresses.
Yeah, and I mean, they're a team that gets better anyway with the way they play. But when you know that they had to wait to get their guys back, and all this is building towards a promising finish as we get a look at the blocking call on Stevie Hall. Division I offered guard. Didn't love the call.
Yeah, and anytime you have football players, you're always going to be better later. Your best basketball will be played starting in January for the most part. And again, I had an opportunity to have, 2 or 3 guys that were very impactful in actually every program I coached at the high school level, being Antonio Gates, Dwight Smith, when we were over at Central, and then Rob Richardson and year B at Crockett. But we never played our best basketball until January because those guys were never in basketball shape, and it just took time.
Yeah.
But when they got going, we were always good, and I think that's why Coach Hall always talks about we're looking forward to March because ultimately you want to make a run to the Breslin and win a state title, and you don't play your basketball until second semester anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you've been proud of your boys from Tuxedo Street today. They put on a little show.
Yeah.
Mr. Acuff has got a highlight that's gone viral.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I saw it. I couldn't believe he rose up and created a Kodak moment there with his finish at the rim. But always rooting for the Trailblazers. That's where my coaching career started. And I tell everybody, me and Coach Teleferro, we were fortunate enough to run into Antonio Gates, Dante Darling, Dwight Smith, who went on to play in the NFL, Jimmy Twyman.
Sure.
We had a host of guys that were really good basketball players that were eager to win. In 1998, we were fortunate enough to, bring home the first state title in 80 years of the school's history. So that was special. So that's why I have an understanding of what Coach Hall did 2 years ago in bringing Cass Tech their first state title in the history of this school. So when you knock down those barriers as a coach, and you go on to continue to teach guys and motivate guys and lead guys and get them prepared for the next level and ultimately get them prepared for life, because that's really what this is all about.
Right on. Is winning a title back in the era of the neighborhood schools, right? I mean, I don't want to take anything away from modern day championships, but like you were locked into certain kids back then at Detroit Central, right?
Yeah, because they went to the neighborhood school. We recruited kids at that time, but for the most part, Antonio, Dante, Jimmy Turner, those guys were feeders to Central High School, so you didn't have to go out and get your best players. Now it's recruiting 24/7.
Yep. All right, this one's over. An 11-point win for the Technicians at Cass Tech. The host school gets 2 wins on the afternoon, 6 days in the books, 6 games in the books in 1 day. A great job by our crew, captained by Alex Westfall. And we'll break down the crew and this game shortly. But it's time for our G of the game. When Rob and I return, we'll have the G of the game joining us here in the booth. Thanks so much for watching this Holiday Classic, the PSL Holiday Classic on the Prep.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together. I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Welcome back to Motown on a Friday night. Glad to bring you basketball coverage. Glad to be sitting next to stars like this. Lee Harris, how about this? 23 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, 11 of 11 from the free throw line. How you feeling, man? What a big night for you.
Man, I feel great. This whole Christmas break, we've been coming up to this game. We've been focusing on defensive pressure, free throws. As you see, I got 11 up for 11. So we've been working on that a lot. Our defensive pressure, offensive execution, that's all we've been working on. I'm just happy we got the job done.
And look, there was a scare with you over the summer or in October. Folks thought, you had to go in for shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've come back. You look healthy as ever.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a process for sure. It was a lot of times where I had doubt in myself, but no, I got a very great circle around me. They picked me up every step of the way, got me back in the gym to back where I'm at now. And the only thing is now is to move forward.
You're looking good out there, man. So you had to kind of wait for your football guys to get back and help out. I know you were a guy. What was it like? Obviously, there's more than the guys that were missing from football, but how much impact was that on this team as an entirety?
Yeah, I had to step inside the leadership role, because we got Corey Sadler, Aaron Graves, we got a lot of key players that play football. So, during the fall and the summertime when those guys are doing their thing on the field, I had to step up. We had to keep the pressure on because, it's a machine. Cass Tech basketball, we a machine. No matter what, we always got to do what we got to do. So when they do come back, though, it's scary. So we work on that. We get in the gym, with or without them, we doing our thing.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
You were
Thank
a machine today.
Thank you.
11 of 11 from the free throw line, 23 points, 12 rebounds. Lee Harris, our G of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Best
Thank
of luck moving forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there he is. We're back with more with Rob Murphy in a moment. Cass Tech wins this ball game by double digits to cap off the PSL Holiday Classic. Back with more right after this.
At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Chad and Rob back with you. Final score here, it's a 12-point win for Cass Tech. They win it 56-45, an 11-point final. Murph, it was a game that we saw two teams play different styles in this game early on, and in the end it was Cass Tech too much defensively.
Well, I thought Cass did a great job of mixing up their defenses all game. They did a great job of keeping the pressure on them. And then it was just too much Mr. Consistency in Lee Harris. He did everything on both ends of the floor. I thought Stevie Diamonds did a great job as well of scoring and getting teammates involved. Grand Blanc has something great to look forward to. I thought Huddleston was great. I thought Cooley, being a freshman, performed. So they have a bright future as well, but Cass Tech protected their home floor tonight.
Moving forward, Cass Tech, Renaissance, and King, you've seen all three now. How do you kind of evaluate them now that you've seen all three of them at this point?
Yeah, well, I think Cass will get better as the season progresses because they have their players back from football season. I think Renaissance is playing on another level right now. Lance Stone and, the trifecta of the backcourt, those guys can score it. They play extremely hard on defense. And then I think King, they're super aggressive. They play really great defense as well. So it's hard to kind of gauge. I would put Renaissance there and then Cass and King kind of equal. Although Cass just beat them, I think King is playing really good basketball right now.
Yeah, I put you right in the high spot with that one.
You did. You did. I can handle it, though. I can handle it.
We're back with more basketball tomorrow from Renaissance. We've got 6 games, and we look forward to it. Another great day of basketball. We'll have more tomorrow. But today, Cass Tech with a statement at home in front of their own tournament. Their girls get a win, a feel-good moment for Cass Tech. They've had a lot of those lately, a football state title 3 weeks ago, a basketball state title 2 years ago. It just seems to have a nice feel in this gym when you walk in.
Well, make no mistake about it, they've been the premier program here in the PSL and one of the best programs throughout the state. A lot of success since Coach Hall took over this program, and he's continued to have that success. And they'll have something to build on. This was a really good win tonight. I know Grand Blanc didn't play as well as they thought they should, but that was a lot of Cass Tech and what they were able to do.
All right. We've got a long list of crew members to thank for making this broadcast possible. And we'll start with your executive producer, Alex Westfall. Evan Westfall on replay, Brad Ross on audio, Rob Hunter on graphics, Corey Easterling on camera 1, Zach Russell on camera 2, Chris Armani Rose on camera 3, Jamie Janssen on statistics, Austin Sonnenberg on statistics and social media, Rob Murphy on color commentary, doing a great job. My name is Chad Bush, saying so long from the Holiday Classic. And the Holiday Classic, sponsored by the PSL, proud to be a broadcast partner with our friends at the PSL. We thank Jay Alexander, and we thank all the great folks for making us a part of it. For Rob Murphy, my name is Chad Bush. Also want to say for Evan Stockton, saying so long. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Renaissance High School. The final score in this final game tonight, it's Cass Tech 56, Grand Blanc 45. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night, everybody. So long.